In the absence of AI and robotics, we might struggle to solve some of the world's toughest problems. The goal behind building these tools is to eventually help drive new discoveries and tackle major challenges like climate change and disease. Here's a question: how can AI disrupt the job market while also losing billions of dollars at the same time? That's what we're exploring today. The truth is, while AI can make certain jobs easier, a recent study found that compared to humans, it performs worse 96.25% of the time. In simple terms, given AI 10 tasks, and it will likely do at least 9 worse than a human would. That's according to new research. It's a striking result and raises an important question: why hasn't anyone systematically compared AI performance to humans doing the exact same real-world jobs? Most previous benchmarks simulated work rather than measuring performance in real, generalized tasks. The findings suggest that the true value of consumer AI might be far lower than the hundreds of billions often discussed. This doesn't mean AI is useless. It's a reminder that AI is primarily a time-saving tool, not a full replacement for people. Perhaps the economy is overestimating its near-term capabilities. In this episode, we'll examine the study and unpack what it means. The study's premise was straightforward. Researchers took paid jobs that had already been completed by real people and assigned the same tasks to AI models. Human evaluators then compared the outputs. They called this framework the Remote Labor Index, or RLI. Since most modern work is computer-based, the logic was simple: directly test how well AI competes in professional digital jobs. The tasks came from Upwork and covered video production, CAD, graphic design, game development, audio editing, architecture, and more. Humans and AI received identical briefs and supporting materials such as spreadsheets or reference images. In total, AI models were tested on 240 jobs, each paying about $630 on average. The results were poor. The top-performing model, Claude Opus 4.5, achieved a 3.75% success rate in delivering acceptable work. That translates to a 96.25% failure rate. Gemini scored 1.25%. Even if a newer version improves by 5 percentage points, that still leaves failure above 90%. Only when results approach 35% or 40% would the conversation meaningfully change. The original paper tested models that were several months old, though updated results are available online. Still, the broader pattern remains. Where did AI fall short? Failure meant not matching or exceeding human-level performance in a freelancing context where clients paid directly for results. 4 major failure categories stood out.
We're being fooled. Now, they're useful. There's no question. There are great tools, like, computers have been for the last 5 decades. But let me make an interesting historical point, and this is maybe due to my age. There's been generation after generation of AI scientists since the 1950s claiming that the technique that they just discovered was going to be the ticket for human-level intelligence. You see declarations of Marvin Minsky, Llewellyn Simon, Frank Rosenblatt, who invented the perceptron, the first learning machine in the 1950s, saying, like, within 10 years, we'll have machines that are as smart as humans. They were all wrong. This generation with LLM is also wrong. I've seen 3 of those generations in my lifetime, okay? It's just another example of being fooled.
AI sometimes produced corrupt, empty, or unusable files. Second, it frequently submitted incomplete work, such as missing assets or drastically shortened videos. Third, quality often failed to meet professional standards, even when deliverables were technically complete. Fourth, outputs lacked consistency, like mismatched architectural plans or visual discrepancies across 3D renders. For years, we've heard that AI will replace workers across industries. According to this research, that reality is still distant. So where did AI succeed? Success meant producing work equal to or better than human output. AI performed relatively well in creative ideation, image and audio generation, writing, data retrieval, and web scraping. It handled simple advertising tasks and logo concepts competently. Report writing and straightforward code for interactive visualizations were also strengths. Video generation is improving rapidly as well. The takeaway is clear: AI is strong in narrow domains, but weak in generalized professional work. The RLI highlights something important. Current benchmarks don't reflect messy real-world performance. As the paper notes, even though AI systems have saturated many benchmarks, state-of-the-art agents perform near the bottom on RLI. The study appears methodologically solid. It suggests AI may affect roles heavy in language, media, advertising, or data retrieval, but human oversight remains essential. Surveys indicate many CEOs have yet to see meaningful financial returns from AI. In many cases, leadership mandates AI adoption without fully understanding its limits.
The thing is, artificial intelligence really is going to transform the world, like in ways we can't even imagine. But it's not going to do it now. Not with this technology. My favorite example of this is one trains them on the whole internet, so they get access to a lot of written rules of chess and lots of games of chess, and they still make illegal moves. They never really abstract the model of how chess works. That's just so damning. You would not be able to learn chess after seeing a million games, reading the rules in Wikipedia and chess.com. Just making it bigger is not going to solve these problems. We need to do foundational research. That's what I was saying for the last 5 years.
Successful implementation requires careful planning and awareness of shortcomings, which often doesn't happen. Predictions suggest some companies that replaced workers with AI may end up rehiring them. Even in software development, heavy AI assistance has coincided with quality concerns. AI is disruptive and certain jobs will change, particularly in visual arts and routine coding. However, broad workforce replacement appears less imminent than often claimed. AI is evolving quickly, so this assessment could shift, but as of early 2026, the data suggests a more modest impact. If you're a software engineer, there may even be opportunity in fixing poorly AI-generated applications. Artificial intelligence will likely transform the world, but not immediately, and not in its current form. A telling example is chess. Models trained on massive datasets of games and rules can still make illegal moves. They don't truly internalize how chess works. Scaling models larger may not solve that. Foundational research into intelligence itself may be required. Large language models excel at mimicking patterns in human language. They do not necessarily build deep models of the world. Reinforcement learning aims at environmental understanding. Language models primarily imitate.
In the absence of AI and robotics, we're actually totally screwed.
We are working to build tools that one day can help us make new discoveries and address some of humanity's biggest challenges, like climate change and curing cancer.
What is intelligence? The problem is to understand your world. And reinforcement learning is about understanding your world, whereas large language models are about mimicking people, doing what people say you should do. They're not about figuring out what to do. Just to mimic what people say is not really to build a model of the world at all.
They were all wrong. This generation with LLM is also wrong. I've seen 3 of those generations in my lifetime. Okay. So, you know, it's just another example of being fooled.
This doesn't mean AI won't succeed or isn't useful. Narrow applications already work well. The concern is financial risk. Massive investment and blanket deployment could misallocate enormous sums if expectations outrun capability. Even in medicine, reports have surfaced of AI malfunctions contributing to serious procedural errors. These incidents highlight the importance of caution. AI can assist in coding, mathematics, and writing, but full autonomy across sensitive fields remains premature. A final thought. Since around 2016, AI has been fascinating to watch, but as investment surged, hype intensified. Companies have reportedly paid large sums to promote AI tools. Marketing isn't inherently wrong, but if a technology is truly transformative, it shouldn't require excessive persuasion. The disconnect is noticeable. We often equate language fluency with intelligence, which makes AI seem smarter than it is. They are powerful tools, much like computers have been for decades. But history shows repeated waves of AI optimism. Since the 1950s, researchers have predicted imminent human-level intelligence, and each generation has been mistaken. Some experts argue that current architectures may be approaching their limits, and that simply adding more data and compute won't produce true intelligence. This scaling problem could define the next phase of AI research. In summary, AI is impactful but imperfect. It will shape industries, but gradual progress is more realistic than sudden replacement. That's it for this episode. Let me know your thoughts.